December 5th, 1948. Shortly after 9:30 p.m., the sky over New Mexico suddenly flared. Military and civilian pilots saw bright green fireballs that did not fall like meteors, but moved almost horizontally, silently, and as if on a predetermined path. In just one night, several such objects were reported, but the most disturbing thing was the place over which they appeared, right where the United States assembled and stored its first atomic weapons. Over the next 2.5 years, the cases increased to more than 200. The witnesses are military pilots, intelligence officers, scientists, and Los Alamos employees. And when one of the country's top meteor experts begins to investigate the phenomenon, his conclusion is disturbing. These are not meteors, and what's even scarier is that their appearances seem to follow a certain logic. On December 5th, 1948, shortly after 9:30 p.m., the crew of a military transport plane flew through the night sky over New Mexico. The flight was routine. There were no signs of anything unusual happening. And then, somewhere over the eastern slopes of the Sandia Mountains, the sky suddenly flares. A bright ball of green fire rises, gains altitude, then levels off and flies almost horizontally. It doesn't look like a falling meteor. It moves as if it were directed. The two pilots had seen something similar before. Just about 20 minutes earlier, another green ball had appeared in front of them over the small town of Las Vegas, New Mexico. Minutes later, a passenger plane pilot reported a third fireball. It was coming straight at him. By morning, military intelligence at Kirtland Air Force Base is faced with a problem that cannot be ignored. The green lights are not appearing over some random desert area. They are flying right over the place where the United States keeps one of its greatest secrets. The area where the first American atomic weapons were developed and assembled, and this is only the first night. Over the next 2.5 years, more than 200 similar cases will be recorded. A folder of 116 pages remains in the declassified archives. It includes 209 reports of green orbs, disks, and fireballs seen over Sandia Base between 1948 and 1950. This is one of the most mysterious cases involving unidentified flying objects, kept secret. To understand why this folder even exists, we must first understand where the events take place. In the late 1940s, New Mexico is not just a vast desert, it is the heart of the American nuclear program. To the north is Los Alamos, the site of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima, and to the south is Sandia, which at that time was becoming the main center for assembling America's nuclear weapons. This part of the state was home to missile ranges, military airfields, and secret testing grounds. At the time, it was probably one of the most heavily guarded areas on the planet. The Cold War was just beginning. Just a few months later, the Soviet Union would detonate its first atomic bomb, and the United States was already working feverishly on a weapon that was even more destructive, the hydrogen bomb. And it was over this territory, night after night, that the green orbs began to appear. At first, no one was seriously concerned. Intelligence at Kirtland suggested they were flares, but the reports kept piling up. The lights were getting brighter, and the witnesses were not random people. Among them are pilots of civil airlines, military pilots, special agents, and employees of the Los Alamos laboratory. These are people trained to watch the sky, recognize known aircraft, and not panic. When such well-prepared witnesses begin to describe the same phenomenon, someone has to find an explanation. The military turns to the man they think is best suited for the task. His name is Lincoln La Paz. He directed the Meteoritics Institute at the University of New Mexico, and at the time, he was considered one of the top meteor experts in the country. If anyone could look at a light in the sky and determine if it was a piece of space rock, it was La Paz. The military hopes that he will simply confirm that the green balls are unusual meteors, and the case will be closed. But the opposite happens. La Paz does not rely only on other people's stories. He sees one of the green balls with his own eyes, near the top of Starvation Peak. The more he studied the observations, the more convinced he became that these were not meteors. To substantiate his conclusion, he compiled a detailed list. In one of his reports to the military, he pointed out 11 specific differences between the green balls and normal meteors. The list is daunting. Real meteors fall toward Earth. Green orbs travel almost horizontally, parallel to the Earth's surface. Meteors usually burn up high in the atmosphere. Green orbs pass much lower, about 10 kilometers high. If a meteor reaches such a low altitude, it usually produces a loud sound. Green orbs, however, are completely silent. Meteors appear from different directions with equal frequency. Green orbs show a clear preference coming from the north. And finally comes the color. These objects glow with such a bright green hue that La Paz decided to conduct a laboratory test. The result is strange. The color of the green orbs matches almost exactly the hue that is produced when copper burns. But there was another anomaly. When La Paz plotted the observations on a calendar, he noticed that the green orbs appeared most often around the periods of known meteor showers. At first glance, this seems logical, but these showers do not produce such objects. Then La Paz wrote in his report a sentence that changed everything. According to him, this model could be an attempt to make the green balls less noticeable, to appear when there are already many natural meteors in the sky. The most disturbing word here is experience. Experience implies intention. It implies that someone or something chooses when these lights appear. La Paz says something disturbing. There seems to be a logic to their behavior. There seems to be a design. On February 16, 1949, a closed conference is held at Los Alamos with the most important scientists and leaders of the American nuclear program, including Edward Teller and Norris Bradbury. The topic is Project Grudge. Teller begins to calculate. He shows that if the green balls are solid physical objects, they should create a shockwave and a loud bang, but no one has heard anything, so he reaches a cautious conclusion. Whatever these phenomena are, they are probably not ordinary material objects. According to him, the explanation must be sought not only in something that physically flies, but also in the fields of electronics and optics. The conference minutes concluded with a statement that these phenomena deserve serious attention. The military took the next step. Is it possible that the phenomenon also left a physical trace through particles of copper in the air? After another observation near the town of Socorro, a team with special equipment found an unusually high amount of particles containing copper at one of the locations, on Highway 84. But the scientific leader warns that the dust from the road makes the conclusion risky. In one of the last reports, La Paz noted that the orbs appeared most often between 5 and 11 o'clock local time. This interval corresponds to early afternoon in the Ural region of the Soviet Union. He adds the thought, a rocket traveling at the calculated speeds could travel the distance from there to New Mexico. Is it possible that the Soviet Union is monitoring the most secret American nuclear sites through unknown technology? The observations are centered right above the places where nuclear weapons are designed and assembled. The commander concludes the file with the alarm that unexplained phenomena continue to occur near sensitive military sites. The question is not whether we believe in flying saucers. The question is, who is watching the place where American atomic power is born? The honest answer, in 1950, is that no one knows. These 116 pages are a record of a real investigation with strong observations and uncertain clues. Edward Teller allowed for atmospheric or light effects, and La Paz also considered the possibility of guided missile tests in New Mexico. The attempt to film the phenomenon through Project Twinkle failed. Of the 3 planned observation stations, only one camera was provided, which failed to capture anything convincing until the project was terminated in 1951. Clyde Tombaugh, the discoverer of Pluto, admitted that he too had observed green fireballs that he could not explain. In the early 1950s, the cases gradually disappeared from official reports and the case simply died down. Decades later, physicists are still searching for explanations in atmospheric vortices or ball lightning. Perhaps it was a Soviet program, secret American tests, or a rare atmospheric phenomenon behind it. But the fact remains disturbing. Something keeps appearing over the place where America assembles its most powerful weapons. The best experts try to explain it, but the Sandia file remains open, leading us to modern surveillance with sophisticated sensors. When the same object is detected simultaneously by an experienced military pilot, an airborne radar, and an infrared camera, the explanation of optical deception is no longer sufficient, thanks to everyone who stayed with me until the very end. What do you think the green orbs were? Write your opinion in the comments. Like the video, subscribe and share with a friend. Click on the video on the left to continue to the next investigation with military pilots and radar.